All right. Says we're live. Should be good to go. I'm looking forward to a very exciting race today. I forgot to pop out my chat. Guess I'm still rusty from last week. Let me do that quick. Let some people roll in. I saw about 100 of you waiting. Appreciate y'all being here with me on your Sunday afternoon. But hopefully we should be in for a nice treat today. As we all know, since the new reconfiguration of Atlanta or Echo Park, whatever you want to call it, the racing has honestly been incredible most of the time. I thought last year's races were fantastic, especially the summer night race. And I thought Trucks was really good. Yesterday, I thought Xfinity was really good. Those cars always seem to put on a show. So does Trucks. So I'm looking forward to today for sure. You know, the Cup cars can always be somewhat disappointing compared to the other series, but I think we'll be in for a good one today. Yeah, a little bit early. Usually the line's at 107. Well, I think my green screen's a little bit in the corner here. Just give me a second. All right, that looks better. It was bothering me. Yeah, appreciate y'all being here. I saw a couple of donos. I will get to those very soon. But the name of the game today is how do we build good lineups without duplicating everybody else? Because I think we're all smart enough to know who the good plays are today, right? I mean, Ryan Blaney, Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin, Cindric, Briscoe, Alex Bowman, Todd Gillen, all these guys, they stand out. It's very easy to click these names. But we're going to use these guys, but we have to find ways to get different with them so we're not completely duplicating the field. Because there comes to a point where, yes, you want to get different, but you want to build bad lineups just to be different for the sake of that. So it'll be an interesting one today. Definitely kind of just like, I guess, talking theory today because, I mean, the obvious plays are the obvious plays. Also, appreciate everyone checking out the website from last week and even this week. I mean, there's just been so much. It's, like I said, it's been a bit overwhelming with all the people, but I appreciate you guys coming in and checking it out. All right, but let me get to these donos first, and I'll try to answer all the questions that I see. We'll chit-chat a little bit. I believe locks at 3, so a bit more time than we had last week. But I got a dono here from Dan. Appreciate you, sir. Says, what are your favorite Dominators on DraftKings, and do I like Keselowski? So it's kind of tough today to talk about Dominators because, yes, I do like some guys that can lead laps, but at the same time, they're just not that necessary today. My projected best lap leader is going to be Joey Logano, then Chase Elliott, and then Tyler Reddick, but they're not going to be a huge staple of my DFS lineups today. I don't mind Brad Keselowski. I would put him in a similar grouping of those drivers. I think Logano and Elliott are probably tier 1. Brad Keselowski comes in tier 2. But like on FanDuel, for example, I did my builds already. It's a new thing. Usually I used to build after the live streams, but I've been trying to build the night before this season. But I have roughly 15-20% of guys like Joey Logano, Chase Elliott, etc. on FanDuel. If this was last week, I would have 0% basically of Logano and Chase Elliott. So there's more laps this week. And we have seen where drivers up front here at Atlanta, they can show up in the optimal. It's not more likely that they show up in the optimal more than guys like Ryan Blaney in the back half of the field or Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin. But I think at a track like Atlanta, from what we have seen, it's been a little bit hit or miss. I think it is fine to do that. Because, I mean, if Joey Logano comes out, leads 100-plus laps, and wins the race, I mean, you'll want him in your lineup. It's still a good chunk of points. All right. Got a note from C-Gen. Appreciate that. Says, what would be the max number of drivers you would use starting inside the top 10? I don't think you'd want to do any more than 2 per lineup, and even then, that's pushing it. I mean, 1 I think would be fine, but, I mean, a lot of my lineups do not have anybody inside the top 10, and really the only drivers I have 0 Tyler Reddick today. If Reddick's optimal, whatever, but I just don't see how this works out. I have some Joey Logano. I'm not playing Stenhouse. I am playing some Elliott. I have some Brad Keselowski, but not as much as Joey or Elliott. I have 0 Zane. Very, very minimal Chris Buescher. 0 Herbst. I don't really think I have any Bubba Wallace. And I don't think I really have any Barry or Gregson either. So most of these guys are cross-offs for me, besides the ones that I think are legit race-winning contenders. I mean, the majority of my ownership is, I have a couple of these guys in the teens, but it's similar to last week where I do have a lot of Ryan Blaney. But I mean, a lot of my exposure is Bowman, Gillen, Briscoe, Dillon, Bell. I mean, right in order here, for sure. But it's not like a pure stack the back like Daytona, but given the qualifying grid we have this week, it is very, very similar. What's up, Clint? says, toss a like in 3 hours early because another content, Chris, being superb. I appreciate that, sir. Congrats on the contest last week. I know you said you did very well, so hopefully that continues. What's up, Johnny T? All right, now you're going to ask me cash games on FanDuel. I think it's fairly obvious today who we're playing. I mean, I know DraftKings and FanDuel can be a little bit different, but you're playing Blaney, you're playing Bell, Cindric, Bowman, etc. And yeah, if it's cash games, I would definitely go Alex Bowman over Ryan Preece. You're getting the 10 extra PD spots. I don't really see any reason to not go with Bowman there. I think there's very similar finishing position upside. We saw Bowman have a really good finish here in the most recent race in the summer. But I do like Ryan Preece in tournaments. He's actually one of my favorite GPP plays today. Because, I mean, if you're looking at all these guys in the back, and we're seeing a lot of 30s here, and while Ryan Preece isn't going to be unowned or anything, he is projecting to be one of the more under-owned drivers. Now, I'm not talking a massive discrepancy of like 20 decimal points of ownership, but I think it's enough to where he does look really solid in tournaments. Same with Ty Gibbs, another guy I really like as well. Top 5 drivers to win the race. I mean, it's a super speedway. I don't use as much variance as I do like at a Daytona style of track, but just really quick. I mean, I have Logano in first, Blaney second, Elliott third, Larson fourth, and Brad Keselowski fifth. Probably not a surprising group, but I mean, it's very close. I mean, Cindric, you could replace Cindric with any of these guys up top, and I would be perfectly fine with that. What's up, Mom? Good to see you. Hopefully you enjoyed the hockey game this morning. Yeah, shout out to USA, by the way. I think, first gold medal since, 46 years, I believe. So that was awesome. I never watch hockey, but I did turn that on. So it was a fun one. Should I add any rules for this slate? Appreciate you, Chris. So I only did one rule. I mean, outside of randomness and stuff, I did have one rule to the optimizer today because everything's going to be so chalky today. So just for example, we'll head over here. So if we just run the optimal here, looking at projected ownership, top's going to be at 219. I mean, these lineups are all going to be duped very heavily. Something I found pretty useful, say you want to drop it 20 points off the highest projected, we look at 190. So, I mean, you can kind of get an idea of these lineups right now. Like, obviously, heavy duplications. If you remove the top off of that, you're going to get some better looking lineups for tournaments that are a bit different, and they still look good. So instead of having, like, lineups above 200% projected ownership, we're getting a little bit lower. As you can see, these are all drivers we still want to play, but it's coming in at a lower ownership projection. So you can, it's just one thing I did today. I mean, it's nothing crazy, but it should help you at least stay somewhat different in tournaments, not having all of those drivers together. So as you can see, for example, here we're getting a Ty Gibbs and a Chase Elliott instead of maybe like a Chase Briscoe or a combination like that, or Christopher Bell. So they're still good lineups, but they're just still ways to get different and still have really good drivers everybody wants to play today. I mean, it's not like it takes out your exposure on the good driver. You're still seeing Cindric, Bowman, Bell, Gillen at the top of the list here. So it's not like you're nuking yourself. So that's something I found helpful. That's why I did my 20 max. That's what I did in 150 max today. I went kind of chalky in my single entries, but just to give you guys an example of a way to still build good lineups, but not just completely dupe everybody in the field. Because it's one of those slates, man. When you go to Daytona and it's only the first race of the season, the only thing you have the lineup metric is the first race. And it's Daytona, all the good cars are wrecked out. They start in the back. It's just what it is. What's up, Clint? Happy race day to you as well, sir. Let's get ready to hear the best race caller, Harvick. Yeah, that's for sure. I got to give a shout out to the Fox booth last week. I know they get a lot of criticism, but actually they look really good. And I also thought Mike Joy did a fine job as well. Great call at the end, so got to give him a shout out. I think they upped their game a little bit this year. But man, I love this. If you guys watch Xfinity, O'Reilly, whatever, the CW booth, incredible. I love them. I'll be looking down for a second. They freak out. I think it's a 20 car wreck and it's just one small little move, but it's definitely exciting. I do enjoy them. Trucks right now is the brutal one for sure. What's up, Obi? What's up, Sean? Who are my 3 favorite GPP plays on DraftKings? I kind of mentioned that I really like Ty Gibbs in tournaments. I like Ryan Preece in tournaments. Another guy I like is Connor Zilich. You know, he hurt everybody last week, but it's the same scenario as last week. You know, it's either you wreck or you don't. Basically the same starting spot. He finished well here last year. I forget exactly where it was. Let me pull up his driver. I want to say it was 11th. Might have been 12th. Could be totally wrong. Let's see. Last year, yeah, he started 36th at Atlanta, finished 11th. No, I mean, you got to keep in mind half the field wrecked out, but I mean, still, it's not like it's impossible. Plus, do not forget, Trackhouse runs very good here, especially the guy's job he stole, Daniel Suarez. I mean, if you're looking at Daniel Suarez when he was on Trackhouse, not saying he couldn't do this today, but man, he had some fantastic numbers. 8 race sample size, average finish at 13.9, 4 top 5s. That is impressive. I believe that's just tied with Ryan Blaney. Nobody else is at 4, so could be something there. What's up, Hunter? Is that like button on the way in going to be a fun one? It should be, hopefully. Doesn't look like rain's going to be an issue today, just for qualifying and a little bit of yesterday early on, but hopefully it's a fun race at Atlanta. I mean, as this track wears, I mean, the racing's just going to get even better. Tire wear, handling has been a big issue, which is what we want to see, and you can't really do the fuel mileage thing like we do at Daytona or Talladega here, so I mean, Atlanta is just it's a treat to watch. It really is. I'm very excited for this one. Hopefully it doesn't suck and it's like some Logano 200 lap led train, but let's hope for the best. What's up? What's up, CJ? Good to see you. I'm sure we'll see the misses soon. Dylan, Gibbs, or McDowell. I would probably rank that Gibbs, Dylan, McDowell. I mean, all solid plays. It's hard to argue against Austin Dillon starting in the 30s, but I really like Ty Gibbs with the ownership today. It's not like he's unowned, but I think he's a little bit underowned. What's up, C. Mitch? What's up, Toronto? Happy race day. Eric Jones top 10 finish at 350. Seems like value. Appreciate the content. So I did add something new from last week. I was just sitting there. I was like, this would probably be helpful to add. So I had the bet calculator here. Just using the, oops, just destroyed my desk. But I have a thing that shows the value and how much you should bet based off of, I mean, you can change it to your own things here. But if we go to top 10 for Eric Jones, we can see if this has value. I'm not sure if it's going to. And you said 350. I currently like to use a 15% multiplier, but looks like I have that projected. Sorry, my big head's in the way. I have it projected at 16.5% of the time. Books implying 22. Recommended not to bet for me. So it's not something that I have value on. I'm curious what the actual value I have is. For the fair odds, it's cutting off on your screen, but I can see it. I'm just trying to. I have it at 507 for Eric Jones, so I'm not a big fan of that. He is good at. I mean, honestly, anybody's live for a top 10 here, probably outside of JJ Aley and BJ McLeod, for being honest. But I do not really want to bet that much. What kind of settings? So Kyle, what kind of settings would you use on an optimizer and a large field 20 max? Well, I guess I kind of alluded to that, where I'm trying to take the top off the ownership some there, try to get some better looking lineups for tournaments. Basically what I'm doing, I mean, outside of just general randomness, I ran 25% today and then mess around with my exposures. But other than that, I really don't think there's much else. I don't think this is a track where I want to use groups as much like last week, where you do the 1 through 12 starting positions or 2 drivers. I think here it's such a mixed bag. I don't really think we have to do that. And if we're pulling up, I did this on the video, but if you guys don't see the video, I mean, if we're looking at last year for the highest scores, we have a guy in, 37th, 15th, 23rd, 26th, 9th, 6th. I mean, it's a mixed bag. You're going to have PD workout. Shout out to Cody Ware in 39th, Hocevar 30th, Zilich, McLeod. I mean, half these guys did end up breaking out. If you look at the first race last year, 24th, 11th, 12th, 10th, 6th, 20. It's not like we have just a distinct, it's full on stack to back. It's going to be good PD plays, and it's going to be guys that are, I'm sorry, that's the Xfinity race, isn't it? I mean, the same pretty much applies, but yeah, there we go. Bell in 32nd, Stenhouse in 34th, 37th, 26th, 33rd, 17th. But there's a couple of guys that can start up front that also end up getting up there. And I believe in the 2022 race, that's when we had Chastain and Ross Chastain starting on the, Ross Chastain and Chase Elliott starting in the front row. And I believe they were both optimal, if I remember correctly. I don't know if it was the second race or I'm not even sure if I'm in the right year. Yeah, Chase Elliott, he started first at 96 laps. He was the highest scorer on DraftKings that year. And then Chastain starting in second, led 32 laps, 53 points. And I believe they were both, in the top 6. So it's a weird track, but just with the way qualifying is today, I definitely do think it'll lean to very PD heavy, obviously. What's up, Parker? So shout out to all the new tools on your website. Got the light package for all sports yesterday and cashed 3 for 3 on NASCAR and NBA. Awesome, man. Glad to hear that. I'm glad you enjoy it. What are you doing today to get away from the chalk line? I mean, I probably just alluded to that already, so I'm not going to repeat myself on it to you guys, but Yeah, I mean, basically the thing is we're trying to build good lineups, but trying to knock off total ownership with that. So just taking a couple of pivots out. So instead of running just the pure chalk line, maybe you take out Ryan Blaney, for example, throwing a Chase Elliott, take some more risk there, or you take out Ryan Blaney, throwing a Kyle Larson, you take out, say, Austin Cindric for a Ryan Priest, just as examples of that. Because this is not a race where I want to fade all the good play. I really do think there's a good chance most of the good plays end up pulling through today. So it's really just going to come down to 1v1s and 2v2s. So it's unfortunate, but that's just the way this is with the qualifying grid. Because while it is going to be a very random race, it's not going to be as chaotic as Daytona, I would imagine, finish-wise. I do think a good chunk of the guys that are just good at drafting tracks end up finishing up there. So we do have to account for that. But I do appreciate that, sir. Thank you. What's up, Rick? Hoping for a great race like last night. Yeah, Xfinity was awesome. Really fun. They did junk up the field a couple of times, but racing is always so good with them. Yeah, truck race was good too. That's for sure. Thoughts on Ford winning manufacturer at plus 180? I'm pretty sure that does show value. I think I'm at plus 146 on that. Let's see, manufacturer sims. That's not the right one. I'm at plus 149 on that one. So it definitely has good value. Killed the under today. If 115 was the line. What's up, Josh? Happy race day. How many Dominators, if any, are you using today for GPP? I wouldn't set like a minimum of 1 or anything. I think 0 to 1 is probably fine. I might have had a couple of lineups sneak through where it's like a Logano Elliott, but honestly, it's usually either Logano shows up or Chase Elliott shows up, and it's not both together, or even a Keselowski. The thing is, I think Ryan Blaney can be a Dominator today when he's starting in 22nd. So it's not like I'm sure at some point he's going to get up there. And the other issue is with Dominators, they get the lap lead points, but they're not getting the fast laps. It's still spread out throughout the field. And that's the good chunk of the Dominator points as it is. So we're not going to really have a Dominator race until we hit... It's Phoenix after COTA, right? Like after the first month of this season. Although next week, I mean, SVG probably starts in the pole. He can dominate at COTA, but like a traditional oval with 300 laps. We'll have to wait till Phoenix for that. What's up, Anthony? Hamlin or Blaney for cash core. I know you're giving up a little bit of PD, but I personally would just want to play Ryan Blaney in cash. I think he's pretty much the best driver here. If he's at least on the best team, I would say, but excellent finishes. He's going to run very well. Unless he wrecks, of course, which, I mean, it could be fair game for anybody. But I would personally rather go with Ryan Blaney, which is weird for me to say because usually at these drafting style tracks, I take the PD, but I'm fine giving up the 7 extra spots for Blaney because I do think there's a decent chance he could obviously contend for the win here today. Got a dono here from Palmer. Appreciate that. It says, play me a NASCAR 25 so I can get my $5 back. What's your gamer tag? No, I used to... I when it first came out, I was playing it a lot. I haven't been able to much recently, obviously, since I had a baby, but I played the other day. It's a fun game. It's definitely better than Heat. Any bets today? My bets were early in the week because I looked at... I mean, if I told you what I got Chase Elliott at, you'd be... I got Chase Elliott like on Tuesday or Wednesday on MGM at plus 1,500. I just checked Hard Rock and he's 850 now. I think somewhere else has him 900. So unfortunately, that number is no longer available. But I got Logano at 10 to 1. I had Penske to win at plus 350. And I think that's it. I did have a free bet. I put it on Blaney, but that was just the fandom of me. It did show a little bit of value, but... What's up, Loyal? What's up, Astro? Good to see you. Not saying that. Yeah, early today. Could be a good sign, could be a horrible sign. We'll see what ends up happening. Oh, lost my spot. Okay. Says, I feel like you need to grow a mustache like Dale since you're a dad now. Yeah, Blaney's got the Pringles can mustache going, but I don't think so. I don't. It gets too itchy for me. I like keeping it short. He was my outright pick to win the race. I mean, I have Logano as a projected winner, but I think it's a real toss-up between Logano, Chase Elliott, Blaney, etc. But I do have Logano at the top. And if we're looking even at just a regular chart of average running position, average drive rating here at Atlanta, it's basically Penske or Hendrick and everybody else. You got Blaney at the top, Logano, Elliott, Cindric, and Byron. Then you got the mesh of everybody else down here. I mean, these really should be your contenders. Obviously, Cindric has his work cut out for him starting in the back, but I mean, you have to assume at some point he should be able to get up there. What's up, Charles? How much Bowman is too much? I mean, he's one of the best plays on the slate today. I understand wanting to play a lot of them. I don't think I'd go above say 60% today. Because while these are still amazing plays in the back, it's still a high variance track. So I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. Eric Jones will run big today. He's pretty good at these drafting style tracks, but anything can happen. And we saw that last week. He was near the front at the end for Daytona, ends up dying with the rest of them. DraftKings is banned in Georgia? Oh, you mean for sports betting? I was gonna say I know people in Georgia that play DFS, but I'll be honest, Palmer. I don't look at price picks. I can't even play price picks in Florida unless I do like the arena mode thing. So I just really don't have much interest in it. But yeah, sometimes it doesn't even let me pull it up because of the location. But can't say I've looked, unfortunately. Help with FanDuel Cash, please, Chris, and thank you. Oh, Chris, and thank you. Please, Chris. Thanks. All right. For FanDuel Cash games, I think you just kind of have to play Blaney, you have to play Christopher Bell, you have to play Cindric, you have to play Bowman. It's basically it. I mean, if we go to the lineup builder here, we could pretty much probably just build it out. So let me go to FanDuel here. My head's in the way. I need a smaller head. Anyway, Ryan Blaney, Austin Cindric, Christopher Bell. That leaves us, what, 6,500 left? I believe we can go to, yeah, it's Alex Bowman and then Todd Gillen is the way I went. I believe it leaves a decent amount of money on the table and you can't upgrade elsewhere. It leaves 1,300, but I just think that's kind of, there we go. I think that's really just the best FanDuel Cash lineup. Sorry, I don't know how to get out of the way here, but I don't really see where else you'd go. I mean, you could take out Blaney if you want the extra PD with like a Denny Hamlin, if you want, but I mean that leaves what, 5,300 on the table. So for me personally, I just like going the double Penske route, Bell, Bowman, Gillen. I believe you can upgrade Bowman to Chase Briscoe, and that leaves 300 on the table. But I think you're just splitting hairs there. I like Bowman a little bit better, but I can't really see going another route in cash games today. Any Jones love on DraftKings for a single entry? I don't think I'd go there in single entry. I just think there's better plays on the board, personally, for single entry. More of like a 20 max play, I would say. How do you edit somebody's projections in the optimizer? You can't edit the projections per se, but you can boost drivers. For example, like we have Blaney here and say you don't want him at 57, you can just nuke him down. But I don't really let people edit it. Hello, Ms. Jules. Good to see you. I mean, Oakley say go dad. Happy race day, NASCAR fan. Glad you can watch, and hopefully our guy Blaney today can have a good race. Usually at these super speedways, I have to kind of not root for him because he's always starting up front and high on, but I'm with it today, so hopefully we can have a good one. Wonder if the win will play a factor again this week? Good. Could, but I mean, can't really quantify it too much. Todd Gillen, yeah, I like Todd Gillen a lot today. He's my favorite cheap play. I'm playing him in my main FanDuel single entry over there. Starts in 35th. I mean, there's really just, with the way the lineup formula is after Daytona, there's just really not that many good cheap plays. So, I mean, Todd Gillen really just sticks out. I mean, the Fords run good here. Todd Gillen's actually ran up front here before. So, I think it was it last year when he led laps at Atlanta? I'm trying to see. He led 7 laps last year in that race. And 0 in the summer race. Was it 2024? Yeah, 2024 race. He led 58 laps at Atlanta. Started 4th though, but I'd definitely get down with some Gilly today. I don't hear from Spreader. Appreciate that. Says Blaney. At the end, you know it. Hopefully we can get a good run from our boy today. I had some body armor last night in honor of him, so hopefully that brings him good luck. What's up, Silva? Appreciate that. Hopefully you are as well. Much love, as always. Too many commercials at key moments. Oh, on the broadcast? I know, it gets brutal sometimes. I want to say they messed up the laps left in the stage yesterday. I can't remember if it was trucks or if it was Xfinity, but I could have swore it said 5 laps left, and they cut the commercial, and then it like ran forever. Like, then we just missed the stage, and then we come back, and there was more laps left. I don't know. I don't know if that was just me or if I can't read or not. But I swear that happened yesterday. Someone said Stenhouse is your Dominator. I mean, I'm not playing Stenhouse today, so hopefully he does not finish in the top 5. He can lead some laps if he wants, but I just can't do it starting in 3rd. Priest or Zilich? I'm pretty sure I have Zilich like a couple points higher. I'm pretty sure. You get the extra PD spots, and those are 2 of my favorite GPP plays today for sure. Hamlin or Blaney for last spot? I like Ryan Blaney personally. Top 3 owned, what percent? I mean, I'll tell you the top 3 owned, it's going to be like, it's basically the top 4 owned. They're basically all the same. It's going to be Ryan Blaney. It's going to be Christopher Bell. We're going to see Austin Cindric up there, and then I think Alex Bowman. After that, it'll be Chase Briscoe. Probably see Todd Gilliland right up there with them, and then maybe Austin Dillon. But I mean, that's your chalk today. Denny Hamlin will be up there as well, but that'll be like the top 7 guys for sure. Yeah, I like Blaney in the booth, Pope. I do. Him and Baldgano get well together. It's Kyle Busch Day. I mean, it was yesterday. Won the truck race. Carson Hocevar. I really thought Carson Hocevar was gonna do a move, and one of them ends up dying. Doesn't end up happening. But in the night race, we saw Austin Hill and Ross Chastain going for it, and I think we pretty much all knew someone was dying there. And they didn't die, but they were 1-2. Austin Hill does get wrecked, ends up amazing save by him, still finishes 12th. Ross Chastain, I believe, finishes 6th, so I guess good on them for not completely destroying themselves. But yeah, we almost got another Austin Hill win at a drafting track. He's just incredible at him. Chris's hair looks good today. Appreciate that. Thank you. What's up, Grade A? Top GPP plays on FanDuel, and good luck if you are in the 20 max. I am, so you will see me over there. But yeah, I'm overweight on Ty Gibbs, overweight on Ryan Preece, overweight on Zilich. I'm probably overweight on Austin Dillon and FanDuel, and that's kind of like it for like the big spots, I would say. And then to answer your question, Kenki, basically the same thing there. What's up, Ohio friend? You like Joey today? Not much for DFS purposes. I like him more on FanDuel, if anything, with the way scoring is. But I do have him to win at plus 1,000. It's basically the only thing I'm rooting for with Joey. Favorite sub 6K driver? Gillen sub 6K, right? No, he's not. $6,200. Yeah, my favorite one of these. It's pretty nasty down here. The only 2 I really like are Nemechek and SVG. Basically it. I mean, with SVG starting 4 spots further back, I feel like you give him the slight edge. But it's really about it. BG McLeod if you're feeling insane, but other than that, I really think it's kind of got to stick with SVG or Nemechek. Got a donor here from Heater. Appreciate that. Says Briscoe, Bowman, Blaney. Triple B is going to Rake. Which one you like better, Cinder Chalk or Ricky Stenhouse? I would have to eat the chalk on Cinder there, Heater. I just don't think the upside for Stenhouse is much at all. I mean, the Dominator points are going to be limited. I don't know, I'm not really seeing it. Maybe we can pull up his distribution here. I mean, he's pretty low. Like, he really just can't. Yeah, I am in the way again. I don't know how to. Need to be smaller, I guess. But he just really can't score above 60 points. It's close to impossible. I mean, sure, if he just leads a ton of laps, he can certainly do that. But I just don't really see that working out. Meanwhile, Austin Cindric, I mean, his distribution looks so much better. I mean, more often than not, he's scoring more than 60 fantasy points. Well, close to it, at least. But the ceiling's much better. Obviously, the floor is much better as well. So just very limited upside for Stenhouse today. How many lineups do I make per week? I mean, it depends. I mean, NFL, I've made 600 before, depending on what contest I'm in. For NASCAR, depends if I play 150 max. Some weeks I just stick to single entries or 3 maxes. It can depend, but I have, 180 this week? Something like that. Let's do it, PJ. I am playing not stack to back, but I am playing guys in the high 20s or 30s and sprinkling some lineups to people closer to the front. Your thoughts? Basically what I'm doing, PJ, so I'm right there with you. Right there with you. Hello, Yancey. 2 FanDuel single entries. Priest, Bowman, Gillen, Cindric, Bell. Lineup 2, Gibbs, Briscoe, Bowman, Blaney, Priest. How do you feel about Zilich? No, I'm fine with both of those. Yeah, I think Zilich is a fine. I mean, it's the same exact play as last week, basically. And if you liked him last week, there's no reason you shouldn't like him this week. I mean, he wrecked last week. What are you going to do, right? Just because you wrecked last week doesn't mean you're not going to be a good play this week. I mean, Austin Cindric wrecked, Christopher Bell wrecked, Denny Hamlin wrecked, Briscoe, Bowman. So, I mean, it comes down to a lot of, there's dumb luck at tracks like this, but I'm willing to go back to it. Oh boy, lost my spot again. Let's see. You think Cindric's in the optimal? I have a very good chance he is. I say almost half the time he is in the optimal today. Quick question from all the chalky drivers. Which one are you most willing to fade? I think it's probably easiest to get underweight on guys like Briscoe and Hamlin. I love Penske cars here, so it's really hard for me to get away from Cindric. Bell's really good at Atlanta. So honestly, for me, I would say probably Briscoe and Hamlin. Obviously, Briscoe hasn't had a large history here with JGR, but this has not been too friendly of a track for him, to say the least. Still think he's a fine play today, but I think he's probably the easiest to go under on. SVG, last man in to get different. I'm fine with that, Miami. I'm fine with SVG. He'll definitely be lower owned than Todd Gillen down there. How do you feel about Jones, Gillen as pivots? Sorry, just joining. Well, I don't think Gillen's a pivot. I do think Gillen would be pretty chalky today. He should be the most popular cheap driver. Jones would be a fine pivot, but I do think Gilly is pretty chalky, at least on DraftKings. Is Byron good for cash today? I don't know how highly owned he is. I really don't think Byron comes in as a cash play today. I think we probably see him in that 15 to 20% ownership range. But if you're paying a premium for anybody, it's gonna be Ryan Blaney and then just the PD guys. So I wouldn't really go there and cash myself. But he is in one of my 3 max lines. So I actually have William Byron and Kyle Larson on my 3 max lines because Kyle Larson will be owned today, but when you're playing single entry and 3 max, who really wants to click on Kyle Larson today with his track history here? So I'm gonna roll the dice with them together. Yes, I did have a baby. Thank you very much. It was in December. So it wasn't during NASCAR season. So that's probably why it slipped through the radar with a lot of you. Thoughts on Denny? I mean, Denny's just one of the other PD plays in the back. That's really about it. He's not in the 30s, though, so he's not going to offer as much upside as the other guys. But, I mean, he's fine, obviously. It's just his numbers at drafting tracks have not been what they used to be in Gen 6. So on HBO Max, you can watch different racers in their in-cars during... I'm pretty sure the broadcast audio, that I can't say. I know my man Spread has that, and that's the only way he watches. He watches Blaney's in-car until he wrecks every single week. I think he always mentions that he doesn't know what the broadcast is being said, so I think you can only listen to the in-car, but I am not 100% sure on that, so you'd have to ask somebody that knows. Team audio is included with Max. It does look fun. Me personally though, I just like listening to the broadcast, but when setting my settings in Optimizer, what is a good setting for average projection? Setting for average projection. I'm not 100% sure what you mean there, Rick. Like, You have to clarify for that for me before I even answer. Did you get to any Bush, Hocevar, Chastain? Yeah, on FanDuel I have 14. I think it's 14. My exposure's on my laptop. I stream on my computer, but I'm pretty sure I had 15% Kyle Busch, 15% Hocevar, and I played 20. I think it was 21%, specifically 21% Ross Chastain. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. So yes, I did get to those guys. I mean, Hocevar is going to be probably records or checkers for him, but did almost win this race last year. And Kyle Busch is good at drafting tracks. Ross Chastain Trackhouse is good here. They're just kind of in a weird spot for where they start because they don't offer as much PDs as the other guys, but lowering my ownership max, it kind of filtered those guys in more, which was helpful. So instead of getting to like some Denny Hamlin or Chase Briscoes or Austin Cindric in every single lineup, it was filtering in those guys at similar price points, which I did like. I'm confused. Is it 400 or 500? The race? I don't know. I think it's 400. The good sign is no rain delay in the forecast for this race. Yes, looks like a beautiful day in Hampton. Hamlin is fun. Hamlin's just another PD play in the back. I really can't go too more in depth on that. It just is what it is. Starts in the back. He's a good car. If he doesn't wreck, he should be a top 10 contender. It's basically what you can say for all these guys in the back. Like if they don't wreck, they will be up there in some capacity. If I was making 6 lineups on FanDuel, how much Blaney? I'd probably go 4, honestly. I played him in 2 out of 3 for my 3 max. He's like, I mean, he could easily wreck, but in a vacuum. Blaney is the perfect FanDuel play today because he is a guy that has some PD, not full PD, but he has a good amount. Plus, he's a legit race-winning contender, which is like exactly what you want on FanDuel. Who's my highest predicted driver at 5,700? Probably and below. On DraftKings, 5,700 and below. Yeah, that'll be SVG for me. Favorite FanDuel play today? I mean, outside of Ryan Blaney, probably Austin Cindric. 2 Penske boys. Do you know how many lead changes you might be looking at today? I can't say a specific number. I mean, there should be a decent amount, though. I'd be lying if I gave you a legit number. I mean, if we look, like we can look at a past race and see how many guys led laps. Pull up Atlanta here. The most recent one. I mean, all these guys right here led laps, so. Race before that. So, I mean, it's a decent amount. It's not like one guy runs away with the entire race. Is stage 1 more chaotic than the rest of the race here in Atlanta? I mean, stage 3 usually should always be the most chaotic because we're actually going for it at the end. But it's always hard to say. I mean, you can have a wreck in any stage. I mean, stage 3 is when it's actually go time, though. Yeah, you do have massive. We weren't supposed to agree. Do I think Joey Logano is going to win? I mean, I haven't projected to win, for example, but 11.2% of the time. That also means, people always forget this part, that also means 90% of the time almost I haven't projected to not win. Don't forget that part. Are you keeping either Riley Herbst or Zane Smith in your pool today? I am not. There's like a handful of guys I pretty much axed out. I'm not playing Reddick. You can if you want. I'm not playing Stenhouse. I'm not playing Zane. Barely any Busher. No Herbst. Probably no Bubba. I don't think I have any. If you slipped in the 150, it's probably minuscule. Josh Berry, Noah Gregson, Daniel Suarez. So there's a decent chunk of the pool you can X out. What's up, Angelo? Good to be back. It's harder at Daytona, so we got to bounce back over here for Hot Atlanta. Max 1 Doms for me, and it's really looking like load up the PD yet again. Yeah, Daytona, I had some decent lines at the end, but man, that Corey Heim wrecking did me in. He was only 6% owned on FanDuel. I had like 15% or 20%, whatever it was. I was very overweight in the field. Just dying at the end was not good. Not good for me. Thor says, Blaney, Cindric, Hocevar, Bowman, Wallace, and Chastain on DraftKings. I mean, that'll definitely be unique. I'm not huge on Bubba Wallace today, but I understand it from a perspective of just trying not to duplicate everybody. Because I do really like the rest, so I'm not going to hate on that. Sean says I did hit on some NFL this year in DFS, second place in a mini-max showdown. Awesome. Glad to hear that, Sean. Yeah, I love showdown 150 max. I'm a big single entry guy, but this year, since I built the site and have the optimizer now, it's easy to use. I've started doing 150s for everything, and it was very enjoyable. But yeah, I love 150 on showdowns. Build a script, build a story, have good rules, and more often than not, over the long run, I think you'll be profitable. What's up, Big T? Good to see you. So yeah, they said there was 8 laps left on lap 21 of the truck race. Okay, I was gonna say something was off. Like I could have sworn, like, well, we just missed the end. Would you want one driver from the top 5 and 3 max? I thought about it, Hunter, but I didn't do it. I was thinking about doing a Joey lineup on the. I know you're in FanDuel. I thought about doing it, and then I swapped it out for Byron Larson just to get a little bit more in there. I just couldn't do it. I was a coward. What's up, Tizzle? Let's say Blaney. How much exposure would you say is too much in a 20 max? Oh, on Blaney today, I don't really want to go above 45. I'd be more inclined to go overweight on the cheaper guys with PD over Blaney. Not that salary is a massive issue today, but it's not like Daytona where I'm comfortable leaving 20,000 on the table. This is one of those slates, even though it's a drafting track, I am probably using most of my salary. What's up, Trop? Chastain's my Dominator hybrid, but hard to call him that starting in 21st. Everybody else is a straight PD play, even in tournaments, yeah. And that's totally understandable. I mean, it's just how it is. I mean, if this was normal qualifying, we would not have this. It would make the slate more interesting, but you just kind of have to eat most of the chalk today. We have to find ways to intermingle it with some decent tournament plays. I know in the Xfinity slate yesterday, I think it was like a 60-person contest. I think like 15 people had the same lineup. What's up, family man? Feel old saying this, but I feel like my wife and I have watched you grow up. Chris, been here since first started streaming. Really happy to see all your growth through the years. So I appreciate that, family man, and I appreciate you being here. Couldn't do it without people like you coming in the early days and sticking around. So I really do appreciate that for both of you. So thank you. What's up, Willie B? Willie B, you gonna have a good race today? Hopefully. Top 3 highest on DraftKings. I mean, I think it's going to be a near tie between 4 people, but it's most likely going to be a combination of Bowman, Christopher Bell, Ryan Blaney, and Austin Cindric. I think Chase Briscoe will not be far behind. Denny Hamlin, Austin Dillon, Todd Gillen. But, I mean, that's the chalk today. Appreciate the dono, Johnny T. Hamlin and Briscoe or Cindric and Gillen for FanDuel. For me, I like Cindric. Oh, man. I really like Cindric, Johnny T. I think I got to go with him. Cindric and Gillen. I think I just have to. Chalk that fails on DraftKings. I would love to know which one. I mean, one of those guys I mentioned, 2, 3, maybe even 4, something might happen to him. Like the entirety of the chalk is not going to hit. If it does, we're in some real trouble today because everyone's tying. But some of these guys are going to die. We don't know who it is, of course. I mean, the most likely one to me in my head feels like Chase Briscoe. But, I mean, I do not know, unfortunately. Let's go Chase Elliott, chicken tenders. Oh, yeah. I think you said it last week. If he wins or something, you get chicken or whatever it is. I typically 1, Angelo, typically, but when I say like this, I would not mind 2 at all. Hocevar and play on DraftKings, yes, but not too much. I mean, he does start, what, 15th? So, I mean, I think he'll be a top 10 contender, obviously, but you are leaving a lot of PD spots on the table for guys with very similar upside. Strictly only tournaments, obviously. Are Toyotas a safe pick this week? Depends on the context of what it may be. Betting, DFS. I mean, for DFS purposes, I mean, yeah, you're going to play Bell, you're going to play Hamlin, you'll play Briscoe. I'm fine with it. I mean, I'm not playing Tyler Reddick, but it's just because he's on the pole. I don't really have like a super manufacturer lean as far as DFS is concerned. I think you can play Hamlin and cash on DraftKings, but my own personal preference is Ryan Blaney, but it can go either way. But my personal preference is Ryan Blaney. And yes, I am a Blaney homer, obviously, but I think he, more often than not, finishes better than Denny Hamlin, given the fact if they don't both wreck. Priestlow, I think Priest is one of the better tournament plays on the board today. Not that he'll be unowned, but he's not going to be as owned as the guys we talked about. And he's an RFK car. We know they can run well. Ram Priest pretty much runs well everywhere. Wouldn't even be surprised if he's up front at some point. Thoughts on Larson? Solid tournament play. I mean, if people look at the numbers for Kyle Larson at a track like Atlanta, they're pretty brutal. I mean, average finish of 25th, running position of 17th. He has one top 15 finish in 8 races. But Larson is getting better at drafting tracks. He had a good finish here last year. I think it was the first race. Right? Yeah. Started 17th, which he started 16th today. Finishes 3rd. 60 DraftKings points, 12 laps led. But man, the other races for him at Atlanta usually do not go well. Like lots of wrecks. I think the first 5 races he DNF'd out of, I want to say. But I did play on one of my 3 maxes. So, I mean, I'm in on Larson a bit. I just have a fetish of playing him for some reason at super speedways. Chastain, Priest, or Gilly? I mean, I'm pretty sure Gillen projects the best of all of those guys, Chastain and Priest. Pretty sure. Might be wrong on that. No, it was Chastain, Gillen, Priest. Let's do it, Sean. I am not playing any of those, Angelo. Basically, all cross-offs for me because I was trying to live my pool a bit. What's up, Jordan? With qualifying canceled and based off the top 10 results from Daytona, would you expect these 10 to stay up front? Also, would you take Ford or Chevy for winning, and who would it be? I like Ford to win today. I think any of the Penske cars are going to be viable, but I do think Joey Logano has the best shot at it. But as far as guys staying up front, basically the top 30 is going to shuffle all day. Now, some guys are going to be fixtures up front most of the day, like Joey Logano, Chase Elliott, good drafting track drivers. But I think a guy like Tyler Reddick, well, he's not bad at these. I just don't think he's like the type to dominate it. I do think he'll probably shuffle around. Brett Keselowski's another guy that can stay close to the front. But I mean, guys most likely to fall back. I mean, Reddick, Stenhouse, Zane, Herbst. Of course, a Wreckfest, but for DFS purposes, it's going to be very difficult for those guys to score a lot of fantasy points. Yeah, place differential, PD. Guys that start in the back, finish up front. %90 chance of donating. Oof. Well, not quite. Thoughts on Priest and Austin Dillon? I mean, I like both. I mean, they're in the back. Starting far back, I like Ryan Priest, but in tournaments, Austin Dillon also fine as well. I think Priest definitely has better finishing position potential more often than not over Austin Dillon. What's up, Carl? Priest or Zilich in GPP? Oh, that is very tight. I currently have Ryan Priest just a little bit above him. A little bit above, but 2 of my favorite GPP plays today. Tito's playing the top 6 for single. I hope not. Hunter says we'd like to thank our corporate sponsors for bringing you this production. Yes, absolutely. The corporate sponsors that we will not name. Let's see. Yeah, I'm usually a Penske guy, trying to get more Cindric in now, actually. I mean, Penske just runs very well here. I mean, I showed you guys the chart. Average running position, average drive rating. As you can see, Blaney, Logano, Cindric all up there. Same with these 200 cars. I mean, if they don't all die in a wreck, I mean, those are going to be the guys contending for sure. I skipped your super chat, says Chandler. Oh, my bad. For whatever reason, sometimes they don't show up for me. I don't know why. Apologize. How important is team stack and tourney? 2 teams? I don't really tend to do that. I mean, it's a drafting track at the end of the day. They will kill each other if they need to. I always say that at Daytona. Now, Atlanta, it can be a little bit easier to do that, but it's not really something I do personally, because in the end, they're usually out for themselves. But if you are hand building, sometimes, you have William Byron and you can throw in a Kyle Larson if you want a truck like this, but it's not usually a huge deal for me. BJ McLeod. So BJ actually had 2 really good finishes here at Atlanta last season. I'll pull up his driver card. So if we look at Atlanta, started 38th, finished 22nd, 37 fantasy points. And then in the summer race, started 38th, finished 16th. Again, those are low probability outcomes, but there's really not that many good cheap plays back here. And who really wants to play these guys starting inside the top 20? So I do understand if you want to get this in BJ McLeod, because if you played BJ last week, obviously you were very disappointed. Doesn't really last any race, part of the race whatsoever. And this is just the dual race here, but yeah, that was very annoying. Because I had a good chunk of BJ overweight and last 3 laps. Very unfortunate. I believe the most I left on the table was like 5 to 6K grade A. It's on my laptop. I have to pull it up, but let's see. My chat scroll down, so I'm looking around. Thoughts on Gibbs and Priest in the same lineup on DraftKings? Yeah, that's absolutely fine. I have them in one of my 3 max lines over on FanDuel together, so I guess I'll be right there with you rooting for them together. No problem at all, Tizzle. Rick says I had 38 drivers with a $50,000 salary cap, building 150 lineups. My average projection is 32.2. So enough to take down a slate. I don't know what that means, Rick, honestly. Average project, like the entire field average together? Like, oh, you mean like each lineup, the drivers project? It's just a weird way to think about it, honestly. I would look at a different metric if you're looking like for the, you know what I mean? I have Bell, Blaney, Bowman, Cindric, Hamlin. I want to get to Gillen, but I can't afford them. Would you fade or just go down to SVG? I think SVG is fine. I mean, if you play Gillen with that lineup, it's going to be, obviously you can't, but if you did, for example, it would just be so chalky. I'm fine with just going to SVG there. Anyway, besides blowing the whole thing up. Because I really don't think SVG is going to be majorly owned or anything today. I mean, people will get to them just because there's a lack of cheap options. But no, I'm fine with just playing SVG. I don't think I'd really try to blow it up. Would you play Elliott and Logano in the same lineup? I don't really personally want to do that. I said this earlier. Someone asked me the same question. I said they might have slipped through the cracks in my 150, but I definitely do not go to my way to do that. Like if I'm hand building single 3 max, I would just play one of them at most. Anyone know where I can watch the race for free besides TikTok? People do that. They watch races on TikTok. I don't know if I should say this out loud, but there's a site called DD12. Why do other models love Stenhouse? I don't know how they could, honestly. I mean, I don't know what model you're talking about, but a guy starting it, it's just not possible, really. He's not going to be able to lead enough laps. You can't get the fast laps. And he literally has to finish in the top 3 to be optimal, to even have a chance of being optimal. So even that, I mean, it's just difficult scenario to where I don't know how you could love him, really. I mean, can he finish 4th and have somewhat of a decent DFS day? Yes, but I honestly don't know how a model would love him as far as like a projection is concerned. Don't say I didn't want to say it. I don't want to out him, but yeah, big NASCARs, they probably are. Yeah. CC11 is what I meant. But I did bite the bullet and got YouTube TV instead. I gotta say, I do think it's worth it. it's to go the legal route, but I watched my fair share of that website. Do you or would you do anything to limit chalk exposure with the highest owned drivers? So what all I did was limit my potential sum ownership per lineup. So I'm still getting chalky drivers, but it's pairing in more lower owned drivers with them together. That's what I did. Because I mean, the chalk's the chalk today for a reason, and this shouldn't be as insane as a Daytona. So I'm gonna play them, but I'm trying to pair them with, trying to make better pairings. And I shouldn't have said it. I know. Favorite 3 flex play on price? I don't look at price picks myself. So I don't even know what they have. I only hand build. Most I ever do is 40 lines in anything. Yeah, I mean, if I'm hand build, I used to know somebody. I mean, I still know him, but he used to hand build 150 lineups every single week, and he would keep track with the notes app on his phone, and just like putting I think like a dash beside each drive. Insane. But he was good. He was good at it, but it's crazy. On FanDuel, what is more of a priority, lap sled or point differential? So Dominator points in general on FanDuel really just don't add up at all. You get 0.1 for each lap led. Fast laps don't exist over there. For a track like this, I mean, it's all about just a mixture of finishing position and place differential. That's really all it is. Now, when we're at a track with 500 laps, yeah, I mean, those Dominator points can add up. I mean, if you lead 100 laps, 10 points. The scoring on FanDuel is so tight every single week. I mean, that can really just make a difference. Oh, I have to rewind this. Handbill 150, much respect. I know. Now, he won the lug nut a few times doing that, too. Cash will basically come down to a 2v2. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just very difficult not to play this, like, the nuts cash lineup. Blaney, Bowman, Cindric, Gillen, Bowman, if I didn't say him already. Bell. Top driver to avoid Barry. I mean, for me, it's probably it's Reddick, Zane, Herbst. I mean, he's on the list too. But yeah. Yeah, I can see that, Jordan. I'm so glad they changed the format for that. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, the stage points for sure. I thought we saw at Daytona some really good races at the end of each stage as well. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about, spread. Mass is crazy. It's on Fox. I guess you could get it on antenna, can you? All right. DE12? Yeah, DE12. Josh says, Zilich, Dillon, or Gillen on DraftKings? I mean, disregarding ownership, I'd go with Todd Gillen. I think in general, he's probably just the best cheap play. Beer says he's picking Kyle Busch in my one pig league. He's been close. He's close that year with Ryan Blaney, that's for sure. We'll see if he can put it together. Get a two race win weekend out of him. Yeah, he sure did, Rick. I don't know how he did it. If anyone's moving to the rear, I did not see anything from Bob. Honestly, though, I wouldn't care if they went to the rear. Just the way this track. I mean, maybe if Joey Chase go to the rear, I'd care a little bit, but anything else, I just don't care at all. It's really windy in Georgia today. Maybe some extra wrecking. Embrace the chaos. Could be. Problem is, all my guys are in the back anyway already, so it's really not changing the way I build, you know. But we will see if it adds some chaos to it. I know Daytona, we saw the wind take a couple of guys, it seemed like. That's for sure. I can check Bob's tweeter. If anyone's going to the rear or not. Got to go through his IndyCar spam first. think he posts the same article like 20 times a day. I haven't seen anything yet. But yeah, 20 to 22 mile per hour wind gusts, or wind, and then 30 to 35 mile per hour gusts. It says Elliott to win today. He was driving solid all day at Daytona. I mean, he's really good at these style of tracks. Obviously, his home track as well. Was a recent winner here. I mean, I think it really comes down to probably the 3 Penske cars and Hendrick, really. You know, it's easy to say, but those are the guys that have ran very, very well here. McDowell or Gibbs? I'm going to go with Ty Gibbs. I do like Ty Gibbs. You never Mass? Mass is still alive, and he's also in Discord still. Just shows up. He shows up on rate. We'll probably see him soon. Sub JT, thoughts on Blaney Bowman, Cindric, Halen, Priest, Village, leaving 1,200 on the table? Too much. No, 1,200 is not too much to leave on the table. It's still a solid lineup. You have Blaney, PD, Bowman, PD, Cindric, Hamlin. Yeah, that's fine. You have some PD on the board. You're leaving out. I mean, you don't have Christopher Bell, which will help some. You don't have Todd Gilliland. I think it's fine. I mean, I'm assuming it's a single entry as well. It's windy there. I'm in Florida, but I think I just heard some wind out there, so maybe it's the whole South. How do I get the dark? What's up, Peb? Light mode only for you. I hate light mode. I mean, this just looks terrible. Disgusting. Yeah, a single entry, that's fine. Absolutely fine. Oh, I guess you guys could probably see that. All right. I've been on here for about an hour, so if you guys have any other questions, please let me know. I think I've pretty much, I apologize if I missed that question. I think I did my best at reading every single one of them. You know, I agree. Yeah, if Sniper would shut up, that'd be much helpful. I am not responsible for that guy's actions. Yeah, I 100% agree. Light mode, I will say, not DFS related, but there is a Google extension called, what is it called? Dark mode night eye. Turns any site dark mode, even if they don't have an option. So that's my last recommendation, I guess, for today's stream, to get that. All right, let me answer a couple more questions, and then I guess I will get out of here. If you have any dire questions, let me know, and I will get to them before I leave. But says, who projects better on FanDuel, Bell or Hamlin? It's going to be Christopher Bell for me, Sean. You get a couple extra PD spots, and Bell's honestly been really good at Atlanta. Jack says, Chris, I'm stuck in JFK. Give me a 3-man core. I mean, it's an obvious core, but Bowman, Cindric, and Christopher Bell today. That'll be my core for you. Chris has PTSD when we screenshot a light mode. And, yeah, I mean, anything. Just turn your dark mode on. Be nice to your eyes. Angela says, max of 4. Blaney, Bowman, Bell, Cindric, Briscoe. Thinking about a total cap of around... Yeah, no, I went... Well, like I said, I built on FanDuel. Obviously, I was looking at DraftKings stuff. I think I set with the DraftKings when I was playing around with it at 195. Roughly around there. Some other people in Discord doing 200 or 190, but I think anywhere from that range is probably very solid to be around. And yeah, I do like that max of 4. Because, I mean, everyone's going to throw all those guys in the same lineup. I think maybe filtering one out would definitely help today for sure. But on FanDuel, I believe I did 125, I think was my cutoff. It basically anywhere from like 10 to 20 points off. Top 3 trifecta. I don't even know. I don't even know. No, the bets I have today, the only thing I can do, I have Elliott at plus 1,500. Unfortunately, you're not going to get the number, unfortunately. Logano at 10 to 1. I have Penske to win at plus 350, which shows a lot of value. I love that number. I'm fair at around 260. So hopefully that covers me if Cindric wins. I don't have the outright on that. But I'm excited to get to a normal track. This is going to be fun today, but I'm excited to get to a normal track, which is not next week. We have a road course. But we get practice, Dominators. I'm excited for that. Because as fun as these are, I'd like to have some more projectable races, dig into practice data, analyze that a bit better instead of just me saying, well, he's in the back, he's a good play. I promise it gets a little bit more in-depth than what we've had the previous 2 weeks. If you guys are new here, we'll actually be able to break stuff down a little bit better. But honestly, right now, it all just comes down to Hey, how owned is this guy? Is he starting the back? Okay, that sounds good. Got a bold prediction for today? I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully it's a fun one. A bold prediction would be like someone like Ryan Preece winning today. That feels fun enough. This bold prediction, I lose the majority of my entropys on DraftKings. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. If Blaney wrecks early, I'm just going to go take a nap, I think. Won't even watch the rest. Appreciate you, Angelo, as well. Good to see you here, and love bouncing ideas back and forth as always. Always a good time. You think there'll be a lot of wrecks today? I don't know. I mean, I'd love to tell you if I knew. I don't know. I mean, there's going to be some. Man, the whole field's not finishing clean today, but I don't know how stupid these guys want to be or not. That's going to be totally up to them. Whenever I hand build, I can't get away from overexposing myself to a handful of drivers. No, I totally agree, Tizzle. Totally agree, because I used to always hand build, like way back in the day, before I even did YouTube or anything like that. I would hand build, and I'd end up like on 90% of guys, 80%. It was so hard to build different lineups. Custer backdoor top 11. Not even top 10, top 11. Maybe. Appreciate that, Hockey Freak. Thank you for being here. Collect you as well, Q. Unfortunately, Yale, you're going to have too much talk today. Yeah, all that 1% ownership today, Hunter. Which is probably going to be all due to you. Yeah, beginning of the season for NASCAR is NASCAR for... Yeah, I mean, people come in and they're like, this is what NASCAR is. And then we actually get into it, and there's a lot more projectability to it besides me just saying to play the guys in the back. No, you're not alone at all, Tizzle. That's why I like optimizing, because then, hey, I can cut this guy off at 45, and that's it. You know. What's up, D-Man? Good to see you. I mean, today it's mainly PD. Mainly PD in the back. Easy top 10? No such thing as an easy top 10 today. I mean, my most likely guys to finish in the top 10 I have right here, but even then the top guys at about 60%. But that's, I mean, you got to get the right number, obviously. Top 10 fair odds, but no such thing as easy here at a track like Atlanta, Daytona, Talladega. Appreciate you as well, Chad. I apologize for missing the super earlier. I definitely don't mean to do that. Hendrick 4 in the top 10, it's possible. I mean, if guys don't wreck, I mean, you should see Hendrick and Penske battling it out. Do I think Ryan finishes top 10? I mean, I do think he does. It's a matter of not dying or not, obviously. But Ryan Blaney, that is very good here. Good luck to you as well. Carl? Something like that. Probably 79. You man as well, Jack. Appreciate that. Carl says, thank you for helping us out. Maybe I'll avoid donating today. Good luck. Oh, yeah. Hopefully not, Carl. Hopefully if guys wreck, it's not ours. That's all you can really hope for at tracks like this. But the race will probably start. Blaney will probably turn into the wall, take out Bowen with him, Hamlin, Cindric, and then we can watch Riley Herbst win or something. I did not exclude McLeod, but I did exclude JJ. Hopefully Hunter doesn't hear that, but I do not have any JJ Yaley. If I were to fade Blaney, which driver would you select? Byron, Larson, or Busch, or below any of them? Oh, for me, it would be William Byron. Byron's been very good here. He's shown the ability to be really good at drafting tracks, which the other guys have as well, but I do like Byron. I believe it's on Fox, Amy. Should be on Fox till... I know it's probably at FS1 at some point, but yeah, it's on Fox today. No jinxing. I had to get the jinx out. Good luck to you as well, CJ. Good to see you as always. All right, I think that's all we got. All right, appreciate you guys. You can always reach out on Twitter if you want. I can maybe answer you. Discord, I'm always there.